What's up, everyone? This is Miss Sophia the Diva, and I'm back here again to give you my thoughts on this week's episode of Queen Sugar. Stare at the Same Fires. If this is your first time here, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Now, this episode was a little bit more solemn, not a lot of action-packed, but it does show the things that are to come. Will Darla maintain her sobriety? Will Charlie remain strong in this moment of weakness that she had on this episode? Can Hollywood and Vice survive with this whole Jimmy Dale resurrection? Has Nova truly learned her lesson about publishing things that she may or may not have any knowledge about? What I do know is that to see Charlie Borderline come completely undone, it was very sad. And Micah and Sister Kiki, yeah, okay, and the touching moments. But this review probably won't be as long as most others. We can just fly right through this. Here's the deal. We open with Charlie down to the bar with a Rich Cars B. Shout out to Funky Dineva. I love when he says that, and I love to say it. Baby, she is a hot ass mess. She in New Orleans getting toe up from the flow up, and I said, help Miss Mavis. Lord help. Just drowning all of her sorrows until she gets to the bottom of a martini glass, basically. And it's at this point that she tells the bartender at some point that she's running for office, and he's like, you don't want to go out looking like that. You look like a hot mess. You know, let's cut you off right now. You know, you don't want to be seen looking like this. And she was like, fill her up. Fill her up. And then she put on the sunglasses. I said, Charlie, really, that's not going to help anyone. Needless to say, ultimately what happens is that Micah realizes that his mama is missing. No one has seen her for like 24 hours. He saw her the night before and hadn't seen or heard from her. He tracks her and finds that she's in New Orleans. Well, lo and behold, guess who shows up after visiting with the long-lost cousin? And we'll go into that part of the story here shortly. But Nova shows up, and she comes and gets her sister and gets her out of that bar, gets her into bed, tells Charlie, you know, I'm going to sleep in a guest room while you get yourself together. And then Charlie was like, why did you say those things about me in your book? And Nova was like, I wish I could take it back, basically. So there is a touching moment between the sisters. Maybe Nova will be brought back into the fold. I don't know. Do y'all think the family should let her back into the fold? Micah and Sister Kiki. So while Charlie is MIA, Micah's at home trying to study and get himself together for school, and Sister Kiki stops by. Baby, Sister Kiki is hot to try. She ready to make them panties drop for Micah. She like, oh, you home alone? I was like, oh, Sister Kiki. But her and Micah do have a heartfelt conversation, and he says, you know, we've got a lot going on, and, you know, I'm willing to wait as long as you are. But he does have concerns. But Kiki lets him know that based upon his answers that he's definitely the one that she wants to lose her virginity to. He does have a conversation with his uncle Ralph Angel about women and relationships. And I just thought it was a very touching moment. I think it's important that young men have relationships with older, more mature men. You know, Ralph Angel, he's very experienced. And so I thought that was very touching for him to take a moment to talk to his nephew, so to speak, about the birds and the bees. Because let's just be real, where's Davis? Absentee father. No, I'm tripping. He's too busy trying to raise his long lost child. In addition, with that exchange with Nova and Charlie, I think the reason why Nova wrote those words is because she's selfish and self-centered and never considered the type of damage it would do to her family. I think after the visit with cousin Martha, that's when she realizes, I really don't know anything at all. I'm stupid. So during her visit, she finds out that, number one, they've been there before. Cousin Trudy her mother used to bring them there. And cousin Martha was saying how she always appreciated those visits because there was a time when cousin Martha had been banished from the family because of her gift. Like everyone in that bloodline has the gift, but will they act on it? And she chose to act on it. So she said, after that, I spent time in Haiti and Africa and everywhere. And when I came back, your mother kept my return a secret until she passed. During this conversation, Nova learns that number one, her mother was in fact not cremated. She was in fact buried on the borderline farm. Had no clue how they don't know that. I don't know. I don't know why Ernest never really shared with them that their mother was buried on the farm. That we'll have to investigate. And when Martha told her that she had been banished from the family, I said, oh, y'all like two kindred souls, only you didn't tell all the family secrets. You were just doing something that your family had done for generations. But Nova got banished for telling all the family secrets she may or may not know. And she told Nova that she was just like her mother, looks just like her. But I was like, Trudy never told all the family secrets because Nova don't know what the hell she talking about. Watch out, cousin Martha. You're going to be in volume 2 of Blessings and Blood. And so when she told her about what was going on, she was like, you have everything twisted. And that's, when it came out that her mother was buried on a farm. So I think Nova finally realized why she don't know a damn thing, and that's why she told, or didn't tell her sister, but she is trying to fix it. But the problem is that those stories are out there in the world now, and they can't be retracted, because books can get passed around, people can make copies. Even if she stops the publication of whatever remains, it's out there. So she published a news story talking about how strong her sister is. It's a start, but you've done some irreparable harm to your family. You came in like a wrecking ball, girl. Also in this story, Ralph Angel is down because his program to help offenders, people just getting out of prison, is on hold until the investigation is over, and he feels defeated. But this too shall pass. We know that opposition will come in our lives. It wouldn't be life if some trial or tribulation didn't come, but it's going to work out. Hollywood and Violet, Vi has a conversation with Hollywood about how seeing Jimmy Dale and the trauma it caused, and how seeing him beat down Jimmy Dale brought back some bad memories of being with Jimmy Dale, because, initially Jimmy Dale was not a violent man to her. He would beat up other people, but not her. And she said, I saw that and it scared me. So Hollywood has like a card game with his friends. They were like, we heard about how you beat down Violet's ex-husband. And basically they were telling him he did the right thing. But, he realized, I could have handled that differently. But it's neither here nor there. He defended Violet's honor, and I honestly don't think that he would ever put a hand on Violet unless it was a loving hand, a hug, caressing, whatever. But Violet is triggered, so she has a lot of trauma. I do hope that in this episode we see her perhaps end up in a therapist's chair to revisit and let her know that not everyone is like Jimmy Dale. In addition to this episode, Darla is coming undone. There can be no doubt that Darla is not falling apart. She goes to see Will. Now, we already realized in the previous episodes where she has been with Will that Will doesn't get it. He can't understand her angst, her pain, and how the publication of that book can affect her. So she shows up to his band rehearsal unannounced with beignets. And, just trying to see, hey, you hadn't been returning my phone calls. I was just trying to see what's up. Will, you didn't have to ghost Darla. You could have at least been straight up and honest and told her over the phone, or met her for coffee and told her what you had to hurt her little heart and tell her to her face. He told her basically he had read the book and he's not concerned about her past. What he is concerned about her future, his sobriety and hers. He says, because I see you on the precipice about to go over the cliff and start using again. And for the protection of my own self, I can't be with you. I was like, well, what do you expect somebody to do, and how do you expect someone to feel when their dirty laundry got aired out? I mean, how is she supposed to react? How is she supposed to be? And Darla, that just lets you know Will ain't the man for you. When a man is quick to abandon you in your time of need, that ain't it, baby girl. Let him go now. Mend your broken heart. Also, during this episode, Darla got upset with Ralph Angel because she was not aware that Blue's best friend, Mother, is now Ralph Angel's love interest. And Ralph Angel was like, darling, I'll be coming over here with all that now. You know, you said you didn't want us to discuss each other's love lives, so that's what I did. I was respecting your request. Was he wrong? No. And plus, she's in the school, they're in school together. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of crossover with Blue and his classmates and the parents. So, how you don't know who Deisha is beyond me. That you could have figured that out. But she's gonna be around Blue, and I'm just like, she's gonna be around Blue anyway. Because if she comes into the classroom serving cupcakes, I mean, whatever. But you know, Darla is really out of sorts. Her life is coming unhinged. I do worry about her sobriety. I do. Ralph Angel and Blue are calling to check on her. Blue's talking to her on the phone, and she's just sitting there. At one point, you know, at the end of the episode, we see her sitting there with a bottle, and will she go in, and she's crying. And I was like, thanks, Will. You really crushed her spirit. These men out here, I tell you, ladies, we need to do better in what we allow men to do and how we allow them to treat us. Because when them dudes stop calling, I wouldn't have even pursued it after that. But I do think that Darla does need to call her counselor. Thanks, Nova. All of this is your fault for that goddamn book, the glory that you wanted, your selfishness and self-centeredness. I hope visiting with Cousin Martha got you the help that you need to realize you don't know a goddamn thing. And next time you need to ask people's permission and do some interviews and real research like Octavia Laurent told you should have done. I hope Darla doesn't relapse. As for Charlie, that's going to be one hell of a hangover, honey. But they get her up, and the town has united to get behind her down to the mill. They go down there, and they have all these lights strung up. Because there was a scene where Micah and Ralph Angel, you know, they have the birds and the bees talk. But he goes to get lights, and Ralph Angel was like, these are all the lights. I was like, what are they getting lights for? And then they were like making food and stuff. It was all kinds of stuff going on, but it was a surprise party to let Charlie know that we will not be defeated. We will stand with you. And I felt good about that because last week, them farmers pissed me off. As soon as the going get tough, they ready to run. Oh my God. I can't believe this happened. You said, well, what was she supposed to do? They'd have burned down a goddamn mill. But that's all I've got for this episode. See, that was quick. That was pretty quick for a diva review, right? But I think really this whole episode was to focus around how certain traumas can affect people differently. Some people trying to hold on to their sanity and their sobriety. Some people are trying to drown their sorrows to forget. And it just gives you perspective on how important it is to consider others when you decide to tell their stories. But that's all I've got. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this episode. Subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to disseminate. Sharing is caring. As always, you can see me every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. on BFAM 109.6, where I do A Diva Disturbed. In addition, don't forget about my GoFundMe. We're trying to raise money. As you know, I lost my radio show sponsor. Shout out to all of those who have given. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a large amount. You can give $2. You can give $5. If everybody gave $5, that would be dope. I mean, you could give up a Starbucks for that. But I'm trying to do something here. Number one, I'm trying not to return to corporate America unless it is, I guess, practicing law or being a counselor of some sort, which my counseling degree is on hold now. So that's neither here nor there. But either way, that's all I've got. Just want to plug that in there. Chin up, buttercups. I promise you, darlings, the sun will come out, and you be sure to stay fabulous.